So, Governor, I'm sitting here with Harvey Manning. We're both rank and file members of the Plumbers and Steamfitters Local 198 in Baton Rouge, and we're trying to do a radio show, and we're trying to interview a legend here. I guess my first question would be, Governor, is how's the campaign going?
I'm sorry, but there's nothing wrong with your translation, and it's all muffled over here.
Oh, God.
Can you speak closer to the mic?
Yes, sir. Is that better, Governor?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Okay. Governor, you're running for the 6th Congressional District of Congress, which encompasses the Baton Rouge and our listening area. I was just wanted to ask you how your campaign's coming.
Well, this is not about Republicans and Democrats, more about principles and programs and policies. The people in this area, regardless of how they're registered, they want good government. They want federal government to serve them rather than abuse them. They want the government out of their private lives, as I do. And they also want somebody in Congress who represents them and who is speaking up for them and who will get things done. And I like to believe that I have a good record as governor and as a former member of Congress of being able to work with other people and to see what needs to be done. And I'm going to get started on it. Like, for instance, I'm already working with engineers and traffic planners to look at the possibility of building an elevated expressway over or tunnel under the I-10 or maybe a northwest bypass so that we can relieve the traffic conditions on the interstate. Already the mayor and the council have improved traffic conditions in other areas of the city, and I commend them for that, but this is a project that is going to take help from the federal government and the State Department of Highways and the city, and I'm the kind of fella can put people together to get that done.
Okay, Governor. Governor, like I said, I'm sitting here with Harvey Manning, and Harvey's got a question for you.
Good morning, former Governor Edwards. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Good morning.
My question is this. Given that Louisiana is a very diverse state, in fact, probably one of the most diverse states in the nation, and we have a lot of people here to represent with a lot of different ideas, what do you think is a commonality of things that you could say that would appeal to the majority of your people that would get out to vote this November?
Well, the thing is very simple, in my opinion. People have different opinions and different ideas about social issues, and I understand that. But in the long run, the question is, who is going to represent you, and who can you call, who can get to help you, who can get the government to work for you and to make things better? We have a terrible problem in the marsh, and I've been very concerned about that. The coastline is receding, the marsh is deteriorating, and nothing is done about it. Either Mother Nature or the Corps of Engineers or the oil and gas companies or the pipeline companies are responsible for the damage, and we need to find out. That's why I thought that Governor General was wrong when he stopped the lawsuit involving all those people. So let the courts decide who did the damage, to what extent, and how do we go about getting reparations. That's an important issue that needs to be addressed.
Governor Edwards, with the gridlock that there is in Congress and with the extreme right wing that's being elected, do you think you can cross party lines and really get some of this done?
Well, one thing is certain, I can't make it any worse. But I think I can help because I've learned how to deal with people of different persuasions, different races, different ideologies, different concerns in life, and try to work out principle compromise so that all we can get something done. One of the reasons I'm running is like everybody else. I'm just angry at this gridlock where nothing is done. The House of Representatives, which is mostly Republican, by the way, or certainly controlled by the Republicans, has the second lowest achievement record in the history of our country. Only one other House of Representatives has done a worse job. The Senate has passed bills
like immigration, for instance, with bipartisan support. The House has turned it down repeatedly. And there are a number of bills that have passed the Senate with bipartisan support after they had their share of gridlock, and I admit that. But at least now they have come to the bargaining table and have sent some bills to the House. But they just can't get it done in the House. And at least one other voice, and I hope it'll be mine, will be there to add to the dialogue and to try to make things happen.
Well, Governor Edwards, we've seen you out at the AFL-CIO building picnic, the Louisiana AFL-CIO picnic in Baker last Monday, and was wondering if you might speak on a little bit on that and the events that you have coming, the campaign events you have in the future.
Well, I'm very friendly with, and I think being supported by most people who are working for a living, because I'm a working person. I grew up on a farm. I worked all my life, and one of the strengths about America is the willingness of people to give their talents and their abilities to get things done. And the AFL-CIO is an organization that has brought reforms in the workplace and safety. It's abolished child labor laws. It's made it possible for people to work fewer hours with better pay. They've done a great job making conditions for working men and women better, and I certainly want to support that. For instance, I believe that we should have equal pay for women when they're doing the same job that a man counterpart is doing. The Republicans in the House refuse to even consider that. I believe we should raise the minimum wage to at least $10.10 an hour, 10.10. The Republicans in the House refuse to even do that. We need a voice in there who speaks up for the common man, the working person, those in need, and I think I'm the fellow who can do that.
Okay. Harvey, you have another question for the Governor?
I do have a question for you, Governor. Recently, I'm not sure of the date, but and the Huffington Post put a chart out that showed directly that since 1967 there's been a decline in union membership. And the other portion of the chart, which was put on by the United States Census Bureau of Commerce, showed that the aggregate income of the middle class is declining in proportion to the loss of union jobs. Would you care to comment on that, sir?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question. Try to speak into the phone.
My question is, the Huffington Post put out.
Go ahead. What is it?
The Huffington Post put out a chart recently that the decline in union membership since 1967 is in line with the decline in the aggregate income of the middle class, and that references the United States Census Bureau and the Department of Commerce. Would you care to comment on that?
Well, the unions are really suffering from their excellent job. The unions came out of the bad working conditions in the late 1880s. There were 5- and 6-year-old children working in factories and mines. People were having to work 7 days a week, more than 40 hours a day. Women hardly had an opportunity to get a job. There was no apprentice post. The unions got all of that done and changed for the better. And once that happened, then a lot of people decided, well, we don't need the unions anymore. We have minimum wage. We have guaranteed wage. We have dues check off. We have no child labor. And things got so much better that people began to decide they didn't need the unions anymore. But that is a need, I think, for people to organize if they're in the working force and make sure that there are people representing them and watching what's happening in Washington to take care of their interests. And I think I can do that.
Governor Edwards, with the next few minutes, we don't want to take up. We know you're a busy man. Do you have any campaigns are there any campaign events that you're going to be doing today and next week that you might want to share with our audience?
Not today. Thank you. I kind of took the day off to do some studying and to bring myself up to date on some things that are happening. I do have a number of campaign things scheduled during the rest of the month. And if anybody's interested, they can call the office at 930-9006, and we'll give you a full disclosure of where I'll be and what I'll be doing.
Okay. Now, Governor, I noticed that you have a very active Facebook page, Edwards for Congress. Would you like to speak on that?
I'm sorry, what's that?
You have a very active Facebook page, Edwards for Congress.
Oh, I've been very active. I mean, I'm getting up there in age, but I still have all my faculties. I sleep well, I eat well, I move 16 hours a day, and I do whatever is required of me. I get up every morning at 6 o'clock to take care of my 1-year-old baby. I have a full life, and I enjoy it very much. I like to stay busy, and I like to serve people. I like to get things done. I like to be where when people call for help, I'll have the power and the contacts to do things for them.
Well, Governor, we appreciate you coming on. And
well, thank you. I enjoyed talking to you, and my regards to your listeners. And let's all get registered and get ready to vote because the election is just less than 6 days away.
What's that phone number again for your campaign office?
930-9006.
Well, thank you, Governor Edwards, and we wish you the best of luck in your campaign.
Thank you, Governor.
That was Governor Edwards, former Governor Edwards, on Baton Rouge Labor Radio. I'm Michael D. Day, along with Harvey Manning, and we're going to take a little break here, and we're going to come back and talk about what the governor said, me and Harvey.
Ain't love funny, ain't love strange. I say love is a dangerous game that shows no mercy, has no rules. It's all the same for the kings and fools. And I'm hell-bent on a heartache. I should know better, but I guess I don't. I keep on learning the hard way. Every time I turn around, I make the same mistake. 'Cause I'm hell-bent on a heartache. Hell-bent on a heartache. Seems I'm always getting burned. Just you wait until the tables turn. Love's a gamble, love's a curse. Love's a bitch, but it could be worse. Oh, hell-bent on a heart. Should know better, but I guess I don't. I keep on learning the hard way. Every time I turn around, I make the same mistake. 'Cause I'm hell-bent on it. sometimes that's just not enough. 'Cause I'm hell-bent on a heartache. I should know better, but I guess I don't. I keep on learning the hard way. Every time I turn around, I make the same mistake. Ooh, I'm hell-bent on a heartache. Hell-bent on a heartache.
And we're back. I'm Michael D. Day. This is Baton Rouge Labor Radio. We're on WTQT 106.1 FM, along with Brother Harvey Manning, was a union member of ours at Local 198. Harv, I thought we had a good interview with former Governor Edwards, and he answered a lot of questions. It looks like that he's looking at the future. I got to say that.
I would say so. I was very impressed that previously, when he was a governor, he had an extreme level of participation and interest in the people of this state, and I have to admit, I see that interest is still there. He has the people of this state at his heart.
Well, he's talking traffic. He's talking easing traffic problems. He's talking what everyday people need. I mean, not talking what the Koch brothers or let's see how much money we can suck out of this economy and give to a private corporation to take over or something like that. He's talking meat and potatoes. Meat and potatoes of the people, traffic problems, health insurance, this, that, the other. On a previous show that Neil Paul Miller interviewed him, he said that he would have wished that the Affordable Care Act was made a different way, but now that it's here, it's the law, that the governor should take the Medicare expansion plan, that it's going to help 300,000 Louisianans get health insurance. And I don't know if you saw on the news, Harv, but they were going to close down the emergency room at the Baton Rouge General right down the road from here. Yeah, we're at 3313 Government Street on Florida Boulevard, right down the blocks. Not even a couple of blocks. They were going to shut down the emergency room, and now the governor's people's coming out saying, "Oh, well, the Medicare expansion money wouldn't have had anything to do with that." Now, Harv, I don't know. I'm not a medical person. I'm not an expert. But if 200,000 more people in the state have access to health insurance, I mean, in my own mind, that's got to tell me that people aren't going to go to the emergency room with no health insurance. They'd rather go to a doctor. I mean, why would you want to sit in an emergency room for 2 or 3 hours waiting to get service if you could go see a doctor? So I think it would have helped. Just my opinion. I don't have anything to back that up. We are on WTQT 106.1 FM. This is Baton Rouge Labor Radio, and I'm sitting in here with a brother member, Plumbers and Steam Fitters, Local 198, Harvey Manning. Harvey, talk to us, man. What do you want? What do you got on your mind?
Well, I was proud to see that Governor Edwards went through a whole gauntlet of multitude of subjects. And one of the things that I took particular interest was he seemed to be very unhappy about what is happening with our coastline. And he would like to get to the bottom of it and, make things right in this state.
Well, it didn't sound like he was happy with the governor wanting to give all the companies a pass for the damage they done, not being able to stand up and say, hey, you know, you done this damage. What are you going to do about it? They're passing that on to us, the taxpayer.
Well, one of the consequences of that damage is the fact that Louisiana is a prime estuary for seafood here in the Gulf, and that is one of our major things in this state, let alone the fact that the damage of the destroyed land that could have acted as a wind barrier. God forbid we don't have another hurricane again, but it sure lessens them quite a lot when we do have one. And without that, we suffer the brunt of it when we have a hurricane.
Okay. Look, if anybody wants to call in, this is Baton Rouge Labor Radio, WTQT 106.1 FM, 225-343-1075. If you have any thoughts on our conversation with former Governor Edwin Edwards or any other subject that might be on your mind, phone number is 225-343-1075. Harvey, like I said, the governor sounds full of vigor, and the former governor, and he sounds like he said he likes to do public service, and that's what he's done all his life, from the city council in Crowley or wherever it was, you know. They say he's held every political office that you could hold from the ground up in this state. He hasn't been a senator. But, you know, just listening to him, you got to be impressed with what he said as far as getting through the gridlock and this Congress that is the second worst on record for just not even trying to work bipartisan with anybody, even their own party. They're fighting amongst themselves.
Well, Barack Obama himself once said a couple years back that, there's the party of hope, and then there's the party of nope. And when you don't compromise, and you're not willing to compromise about things that aren't even political, just because you want to take a stance on something, it's really bad. And the business of the country is not getting done. Therefore, we need somebody who can reach across the aisle and begin to make our government work again.
Something's got to work, because, I mean, this is stone cold gridlock. And, we're just floundering in the water. We are just floundering. I mean, they got bridges and just all kinds of stuff that are falling apart, and you can't get anything done. And, Harv, I'm just wondering when people are going to say enough's enough and just get out and register to vote and then go vote.